Hello, Nimbronies.
That's some good ASMR.
Wasn't that some good ASMR? This is a La Croix. This is Raz Cranberry. I'm going to tell you all a story to intro us in here. Did you guys know that in the world of Beyblade, Moses parted the sea, not with Jesus Christ's love, Hey, I mean, which one's more believable,
Did
guys?
he do it without it?
A top or...
Okay, let's first of all, is this Beyblade canon?
It is. It is
Yeah.
actual Beyblade canon.
It's in the show.
Okay.
Moses let it rip in between into the Red Sea, and it parted, and then they crossed it.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it so much.
Welcome back, guys. It's episode 14. Thanks for the little bit of Beyblade lore that we had up at the top. I'm here with the ever beautiful, ever talented Mitchell. Mitchell, what's your at?
Tattoo breakfast.
The man, the myth, the legend. Chris House. Chris, what's your at?
Chris House _tattoo.
Wow, thanks. We're here with Big John. Big John, what's your at?
Johnny M. Mond.
We're here with the second most handsomest, most talented apprentice of the lower metro Atlanta area. Josh. Josh, what's your at?
Opinionated otaku.
And then you're here with Michael, motherfucker. Let's go. At Oh Crap Michael. Thanks. That was the production budget for the whole episode. So the video is now going to cut out.
It's gonna go to 240p.
Yeah, we wasted all the budget on that. So thank you guys for who paid for the air horn. But yeah, we have a couple topics to go through. We're gonna have a good time.
Absolutely.
I've ran out of air horn for this segment, so sorry.
If you're a video watcher
Yeah.
and you notice that Josh is wearing a super cool fingerless glove
It's because he listens to Panic at the Disco.
and graduated to Black Veil Brides,
Oh shit!
and
John's face.
which by the way, I just gotta say this because I love destroying this for people really fast.
Okay.
If you've ever listened to the lead singer of Black Veil Brides, he is a perfect combination of Chad Kroeger from Nickelback and M. Shadows from Avenged Sevenfold.
Andy Ballsack.
And I
Beer
call
sack?
him Chad Shadows. So it's Chad Shadows. There's a song by them I heard. It's called In the End. And he's like, In the End. It's literally the perfect hybrid. It will destroy it for you forever. If anyone likes Black Veil Brides, let them know about Chad Shadows. Spread the word.
We're starting with our celebrity call out this week.
Make sure
I
you
was
bleep
just
out.
gonna say that.
Make sure you bleep out Chris singing
For
it, so
sure.
we don't
It's
lose
fine.
more air horn
I think we're good.
monetization.
I
But
think
no,
we're
it's because Josh got his hand tattooed.
Yeah, got the old.
Chainsaw hand.
Yes.
Dude, I can't wait for you to read the book.
I really hope this show is good, guys. So much right now.
I have so much writing on this.
We could start there. That's one of the topics for today is our thoughts on the first episode of Chainsaw Man. It came out 2 days ago.
That's fair. Well, I mean, come on, start screen.
There you
There
go.
it is. Well, I mean, you got the tattoo, so we'll start with you.
Hit it.
Yeah. So I had read a big chunk of the manga when it was first coming out, and then I fell off for a while. But I'm probably like 60 to 70 chapters deep, and I really enjoyed the manga. Clearly, and then the anime just aired. I overall really liked it. I love Pochita. I love his bark.
His bark is so perfect, right?
Yes,
I love
it's so good. And when he yells when Denji gets hurt, I love it. It's so good. Yeah, my only complaint is the CG it just could be better, you know. But overall, I think it's going to be really good. The story is very good. So all of the art outside of the CG was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the animation.
So I was given a very brief synopsis about Chainsaw Man by Michael.
Yep.
Because I hadn't seen it.
I read one volume, so about 6 chapters.
Nice.
So I kind of went in pretty blind to it. It's also the first show I've just completely started that wasn't dubbed.
Proud of you.
So overall, I like it. I think it's good. There's one thing about it that I personally stylistically don't like. But when it comes to the CG, it doesn't bother me, you know, because like Mappa did it. And like,
Yeah.
you know, they already knew there was going to be a bunch of CG in it because they've done Attack on Titan and like all the Titans are CG now. So
Yep.
I don't have a problem with that. I can foresee people using that as a reason to shit on it.
For sure.
Yeah.
because there's not actually one single frame of actual Chainsaw Man that's hand drawn.
Yeah, the frames where he's not moving are pretty ugly.
Yeah.
When he's fighting, it's all good. Like the CGI looks pretty solid, honestly.
Yeah. It's not. It's very fluid. That's the interesting thing about the CG stuff is it's very fluid, but it's not keyframe friendly.
Yes.
But yeah, there's not one single shot where he is Chainsaw Man that it's not CG, which is weird, right?
Yeah,
Which they will eventually, I'm sure that
People will complain enough. It's gonna be like a Sailor Moon Crystal thing where they were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you guys don't like the CG? We took it out."
Well, in the intro, you do see it where it's not CG.
Yeah, they have that one part.
I think
Where
there'll
he's like
be,
his head is up.
I think there will be parts throughout the season where it's not, but I
Yeah.
think it'll be mostly CG.
I mean, eventually when there's not like him like hacking people up and he's just like standing and having conversation,
Yeah.
for sure. But the thing I dislike about it stylistically is all of the colored pages and all of the covers have like all of these like crazy neon bright colors, and the show is just very dim,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
which is fine. But when I've seen the art from it,
Yeah.
it read like it looked.
More saturated.
No, not even saturated. It was like, so okay, if you think about like old like cartoons or something, like you know how like for example like Invader Zim was like very like neon poppy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like if
Yeah.
you took that and was like that's kind of like Chainsaw Man, and then you just took like a normal dim kind of whatever show. Sprinkles, what are you doing?
She's digging. Hold on.
Oh my god.
Sprunks.
So I don't know. I expected it to be like flashier and poppier, and like that was something I was kind of drawn to, like with the artwork, and it looks like Mappa did it. Like it looks exactly like Attack on Titan season 4.
Yeah, I feel that.
It doesn't visually have its own identity.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, the opposite of that, I just watched the second episode of Mob Psycho Season 3, and I just learned yesterday, the reason I bring this up is they don't use any CG at all. Every frame is hand-drawn, and the colors are insane. I love Mob, so I'm kind of biased, but the difference is crazy. It's so bright, and it's all hand-drawn, and I think it's much better.
If you haven't watched Mob Psycho, you really need to watch.
Yeah,
Mob Psycho. It's
I'm
really
gonna
good.
tattoo it on Josh. So
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, like I liked it. I thought it was cool. It was actually 25 minutes, so
Yeah.
that was good. It was like a little longer than like
Yeah.
a standard.
An
anime.
episode of Obi-Wan. Yeah.
I think that might be just because it was the premiere, but we'll see.
think so.
Yeah.
But it was cool.
We watched it snuggled in bed. It was really cute.
Michael,
yeah.
what'd you think?
I liked it. Like I said, I've only read about 6 chapters. Some of the dialogue changes was interesting. That was an interesting choice to change some things.
Yeah, dude, they should have left the part where she says, "Be my pet."
Be my pet. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, hell yeah. And then they took it out. And I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Oh, is that
It's
what?
okay.
Is that what power
Makima.
system?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tricky, my little bitch.
Well, that's interesting because in the show she's just like
You can be-
You can
have
be
breakfast.
you can be. She's like, you can be a human, or you can die.
So-
But it's you. You can be my pet.
Yeah, she says,
Or you
"I'll
can
keep
die.
you as a human." In the anime, in the manga, she says, "I'll keep you as my pet,"
Yeah.
which is just
That's weird because that seems like something that they would have changed it in like a dub.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
It is
mean?
strange, yeah. There is a frame in the opening where she's walking him on a leash in the
Yes.
background.
There totally is.
John, you watched it too. What'd you think?
Yeah, I did. I'm not caught up on the manga, but I'm probably like 45 chapters in or something like that. But yeah, I dug it. Truthfully, I don't even notice like those subtle changes that are clearly more important to y'all. But, but I like it.
What did you think about the colors? Like I was saying.
It was cool. I mean, I haven't watched enough anime to really have a grounded opinion on anything like that. Yeah, but it does. It actually does very much remind me of Attack on Titan. I like now that you've said that it totally is similar. Like
Yeah.
the way that it's executed.
I was kind of hoping, like, especially with them fighting the zombies in the first one, that like it would have like the green blood, like the manga covers had.
Yeah, that's the first volume has the green
Yeah.
blood. That would have
Yeah.
been sick.
I also kind of wish that this is just personal preference. I don't like the eye color being yellow. I wish it would have been green.
Is it
Yeah.
green on the cover?
Mm-hmm.
I think it
I
is.
think it is too. Yeah.
I can go
That's
grab
how
it.
most
I have
tattoos
it,
have
but-
been. If you look at like almost anybody that's done one, it's almost always
You
green.
know
Yeah,
what?
that's
that
kind of a
actually
s-
reminds me.
That's a spot that gets you,
I
man.
forgot to go back and look and see if I colored him right when I did it a year ago.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if I colored him right.
Moment
Hey,
of
if
truth.
Chris colored it wrong on this person,
Yeah.
we're so sorry.
I
We didn't know.
I'm actually like hearing about it vicariously through you guys. I actually didn't watch it, but I have read the whole thing, so I've been super excited for it.
I did him right.
Let's go.
Yeah. I actually really love it.
GG's
Look
in
at
the
that.
chat, y'all.
He's actually all the correct colors.
That's sick.
Sick.
Looks great.
Man, that's crazy.
I've already seen just this week like
Oh,
so
yeah.
many Chainsaw Man
Oh, yeah.
tattoos.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Yeah,
crazy.
they've all
Everybody
come out of
put
the
them out at
woodwork.
once.
Yeah.
I posted mine
Yeah.
about 2 hours before the premiere.
Yeah.
I was like, surprise!
Yeah.
Because this is going to be all everyone sees tomorrow.
Well, the episode came out at noon
Yeah.
our time.
It's
Oh,
pretty
did it?
typical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to come out at like 2 or 3.
I put it out. I think I dropped mine at like
Yeah.
5
noon.
or 6
Oh.
in the afternoon.
Bro, you were so late, bro. There were like 90,000 other Chainsaw Man tats posted. All the cosplays and fan art were already out, bro.
Yeah.
There's some crazy cosplays.
Oh, yeah.
There's some good
Don't
ones.
look at me and Josh's Twitter DMs.
Chill, bro. Anyways, the next thing we're going to talk about
There's a lot of them.
is subs versus dubs.
Okay.
I don't know who wants to start.
This is the most heated thing.
I don't think it's heated. I think
I don't know. I think it is.
Let me go ahead and jump in first,
Okay.
and then I'm
Okay.
gonna
Should we
throw Chris.
real fast
Yeah.
before we continue? Should we
Okay.
also acknowledge that this is kind of a funsies episode, everyone? This is not like a
Yeah.
super profound tattoo heavy.
There'll be some
We're
tattoo
still gonna
stuff,
talk
but-
about
Yeah.
tattoo
Yeah.
stuff
We
today,
are.
but we're just kind of like talking about
just
other
going
stuff.
through stuff.
These are the kind of things you'll hear us talk about at the shop.
Very
yeah,
Yeah,
for real.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like we always talk about sub and dub because our friends here all have varying preferences in what they do or don't watch. For me, I generally prefer sub because most English voices are like, if you're listening to someone in English, like you can pick up on the nuances of a person being like more annoying. I think if you like
That's
don't
very
if you
true.
speak the
Mhm.
language, so like a lot of the time I just like don't prefer it. But there are certain shows like I only watch dubbed. Like I only watch Cowboy Bebop dubbed.
Yeah.
I only watch Trigun dubbed. I
Mhm.
only watch Samurai Champloo dubbed.
Is it just older anime for you? That's
Yeah, a lot of the older ones because I like Steve
Yeah,
Steve
he loves
Bloom
Steve
a
Bloom.
lot. I
Oh,
like
right.
Johnny Young Bosch a lot. Those are like some of my favorite voice actors. So like when they're in stuff, I usually like to hear them. But outside of that, like Demon Slayer, I cannot stand the dub for that show. I think
Oh,
it's
man.
terrible. I also don't like Attack on Titan.
Deku is the worst dub. Of
Yeah,
all time.
Deku's
Oh,
terrible.
Deku's so fucking.
I
And
hate
I,
it, dude.
for the record, I think Attack on Titans is good. I think that Eren comes across as a lot more annoying in the first like 3 seasons to me
Yeah.
when I watch it because I actually watched it all the way through subbed and dubbed, so I've seen the
Wow.
whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's yeah, and like they changed the way the Titans sound.
Yeah, it
Interesting.
is. It is different.
Like yeah, in the Japanese dub, it sounds more like a human voice that's like distorted or something, which I
Yeah.
think is like better. And then in English, for some reason, they change it to like it sounds like a weird elephant to me or something. It's
Weird.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
it's very. Yeah, it is very like.
Yeah. But
like type of thing.
if you do like
It's
tattoos and
just
stuff,
Sprunkles.
most of the time lately I watch stuff dubbed because you cannot really draw and watch
Yep.
sub unless you like have the Sharingan and you're just
Oh, shit.
it's
the test
reading
episode.
and drawing. Yeah, but I always give Chris shit because he's got different preferences for me on stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so my big thing is I prefer watching things in the language that I speak in because that's the easiest thing, clearly. So where because the main argument comes from you should listen to it in its native language, right? That's like the normal thing. So I think that's valid because that's like the pure experience. That's like the true experience or whatever. That's great. You're right. But I'm also a very slow reader and I got shit to do.
Dude, just read faster.
Busy
So,
man.
yeah, I mean, I just have shit I want to do. I'm like, I just want to be able to like relax and just enjoy something, and I don't want to just sit there and like, I don't know, man. Like, I also like the art. It's like I'm like staring at, because like I'm always in like work mode, so I can't be like, look at that panel, like let me read this, like back and forth like constantly. It's too much for me. And especially watching older shows that people want me to watch that are already 100% dubbed, like I'm just gonna watch it because it's finished. The only reason I watched Chainsaw Man subbed was purely because it just came out. I know I'm gonna have to do 5,000 dingy tattoos, and I want to be up to date on what's happening. And the dub does not exist in this current moment.
Did it detract from your enjoyment of it watching it sub?
It didn't detract from my enjoyment, but I would have preferred it if it was dubbed.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know,
I was just curious if you like while you were watching, you were like, God, I wish this was not.
I wish I didn't have to like, because sometimes like, okay, it's like the first episode of Chainsaw Man, it's not like super dialogue heavy. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's fine, but bro, I couldn't imagine like getting into like the shit they get into in season 4 of Attack on Titan and having to read all of that.
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
This shit is already convoluted like in English. I don't want to sit there and read it and like look at the visuals and be confused and like do flashbacks and timeline jumps. And I'm just like, bro, I can't. That's so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just not something I'm willing to go through when the easier option is right there for me. But I did start Chainsaw Man this way. It's like, I will finish it. But like, you know, I love My Hero. You know, I've watched 5 seasons of My Hero and like 3 movies in English. Ain't no fucking way I'm watching it in Japanese. I'm very attached to the way that I know the characters sound. I'm very attached to like that.
Yeah.
Like a main character could die like in like the very beginning of season 6, and if I'm listening to it in Japanese, I'm not going to feel as connected to it because that's not the way that I know the character.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sure. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm just going to be more confused.
Yeah, I feel that. I think that's why I hate the Deku dub so much, is I watched like 4 seasons of sub before I ever even tried to watch the dub. And then hearing that voice, I was like, that's
His
not
voice is
like,
so annoying.
It's so bad.
But
All Might's voice is good in dub, I will give him.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing. Like, so you were saying that his voice is terrible, right? And
Yeah.
you were saying Aaron's voice
Yeah.
is like really whiny, right?
It's not as much that I think his voice actor is a great pick.
Yes.
I think it's the delivery of it.
Yeah, but you're
makes
saying
him
it's
sound-
whiny in the first 3 seasons, right?
I just think Aaron's more annoying because
Okay.
I can pick up on
Well,
his
guess what?
personality more.
Both those characters are really fucking annoying in the first few seasons, regardless.
If you watch
Yeah,
the
but they're
Japanese,
not-
Deku-
he's
no,
not.
if you watch in
Yeah.
Japanese, it's actually pretty
it's-
different
No,
delivery.
I'm not talking about the delivery. I'm talking about the character
Sure.
as the way it is written. Deku is really annoying and whiny for 3 seasons, and so is Aaron.
Well, that's fair, but like I remember watching Attack on Titan the first time, like he never came across to me. Like I remember watching him, like dude, he's
Yeah.
like he's pretty cool. Like I mean, he's like traumatized or whatever, but like whatever. And I remember reading when people were like, "Bro, Aaron's so annoying." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then I watched it dubbed, and I was like, "Oh man, he doesn't really like shut up. He's really he complains
But
a lot."
I also think that like when something is presented to you in the language that you speak, sometimes it's easier to understand to a certain degree, right? So like if it's the same script and they're saying the same words more or less, and you're like, man, this character is kind of annoying, like maybe you have a better understanding of the character because like you can kind of turn your brain off and just like see it for like what it is.
Let me also say really quickly that I meant to say this before. My biggest thing is that there are certain dialogue like choices that like I remember watching a show and being like, "Bro, that's such a sick line." Like, you know, it's like in the middle of a fight and it's like, "That's so great." Like the thing they say.
Yeah.
Then you watch it in English and it's so cringy.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man. Like, you know, it sounds like some guy named Dave is like, you know, it's the power of my friends and
Hey,
my
man,
you know, it's-
Through the power of friendship, we're gonna beat this guy up.
Yeah, but I guess that comes down to like, I don't know, like take Sora from Kingdom Hearts, and he's like,
Did you listen to it in Japanese?
no, but I'm saying is like if you say the same shit in Japanese, it probably just sounds cooler to you because like it just sounds different.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a cooler language. But so
Do you know what I mean? It's like
I think it's the superior choice, but okay.
which is fine. I'm just saying, like, I'm not like I think all opinions on this are completely valid. I'm just saying, you can look at it and be like, yeah, I prefer this. I'm just trying to shine a light on like maybe you prefer it just because like it is different. Does that make sense?
It does. I don't think that's it for me, but I know what you're saying. I'm definitely a major sub snob. Like, I almost watch nothing in dub. Like, I can't stand it. Even the old ones, like Trigun, Cowboy Bebop, I watched the sub.
Death Note.
I haven't watched Death Note yet.
Light's Japanese voice is 20 times better.
Yeah, I'll probably watch the sub if I'm being real. But I actually was doing some reading on this because I'm so against dub. But
He's like on Reddit, just like these fucking idiots.
He's like, back me up.
I saw someone make the argument that listening to someone like in your own language be like over dramatic, like obviously there's scenes in anime where like they're doing things that like a normal human wouldn't do. It's like hearing it in your own language, it sounds wrong, but if you hear it in a language that's not familiar to you, it doesn't sound as like cringy to have someone be like screaming.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So like you hate Zenitsu.
Mm-hmm.
And he is annoying in sub too, but he's way more annoying in the dub. Like
100%,
it's unbearable.
But the thing about it, so like I was saying before, like with like the character, right?
Mm-hmm.
Zenitsu as a character,
Is annoying.
I don't care what his voice sounds like. Fuck him.
I know you hate him.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like the way he is written is what I dislike about him.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with
fair.
his voice.
Okay.
And it's like I don't care what Inosuke sounds like. I don't understand why people love him the way that they do. Do you know what I mean? Like because it's the way he is written.
Yeah, I feel that.
And like, yeah, there are times early on where Deku is like unbearably annoying. I would feel I've watched most of season 1 in Japanese because Ashley was watching it. And regardless, I'm like, I feel the same way about him. Do you know what I mean? To me, it's more.
Are you sure it's because you don't have a preconceived?
That's what I was about to say.
A preconceived, like, he's annoying in English because I hear him whine all the time.
I don't know. Like,
but now the dialogue is different.
Okay,
and he's still annoying.
Okay, well, let's say this, right? So I haven't read Chainsaw Man, but you guys have,
Mm-hmm.
right? Cool. I think Denji, like the way he is written, I'm sure no matter what language, like the further into it, he's going to be a little obnoxious.
Sure.
Okay.
I was like,
He feels
more horny than
he feels
obnoxious.
complaining to me.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
I actually don't really like Denji that much as a character. If
I
I'm
know
being
you hate
real.
him.
Like he
I
inherently.
don't hate him. I
No,
like
no,
him.
but he's
Okay,
like-
it's like he inherently feels complaining, and Pochita feels like no matter what, he's gonna be inherently cute.
To be fair, Denji's
And Power's probably inherently gonna be like a
literally
bitch.
selling body parts.
Yeah.
The things
I mean,
he's
I
complaining
get
about are
it.
pretty valid, but I understand what you're saying.
So it's like I don't really care the language. Like it's just like whatever is the most easily digestible to me to like get the point of the story across.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at.
I feel that.
What about you, Michael? I don't think we hit yours.
I have an interesting take on just subtitles in general.
Okay.
9 times out of 10, if I'm watching something, it has subtitles on no matter what language it's in.
Yeah.
Damn, Mitch, you got your fucking phone on while I'm trying to make my fucking my case here,
That
bro.
was Brett. Thanks, Brett. I'm just kidding.
Shout out, Brett.
Yeah, I'll put subtitles on for anything. If it doesn't have subtitles, usually I won't watch it. Like we'll watch like a movie downstairs. My ears just stop working at a point, and I will just sit there and read.
I didn't used to be that way, but I am now. Like I used to hate subtitles
Because it's
on
like all I can
English
fucking
shows.
lot at this point, I'm just like reading it without even trying.
Yeah, me too.
And I can just kind of breeze through it.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of anime in Spanish.
What?
Michael,
dude.
That's so
Michael.
weird.
The delivery is
What
so
are you
good,
talking
dude.
Hold on.
Literally the most
Out of
random
left
take of
Hold
all
on.
time.
Hold on.
Oh my god.
I love it in Spanish.
Okay.
It's so
Oh.
dramatic.
Now let me say this,
You're
okay?
kidding right now, right?
No.
No, I
So
like
let
it.
me say
Portuguese is the best. But
Okay.
Michael.
Let me say this. So that means that you more or less should have the same opinion as me.
No, I just like the delivery in Spanish more. But if it was a choice between English or Japanese, I'm picking Japanese.
But my point
That's
is,
what's up, dog.
it doesn't matter per se what language it's in. It's just like what you prefer.
Yeah.
Because
that's
So
the whole.
here's
But
what
I'm
I-
still reading the subtitles,
but how
which
do-
is still the debate that we're having here of sub or dub.
But have they changed things in that
No, the subtitles are the same no matter what the language is.
It's the English
It's-
subtitles.
which
But
are sometimes changed.
What they're
anyway.
saying in Spanish might be a different translation than what you.
But
have
the
in
subtitles
English.
are always the same no matter if you're watching the audio in Japanese
Yeah.
or this in Japanese or
Okay.
whatever.
The English subtitles are usually
Yeah.
based around the English dub.
translation.
Yeah.
Translation. Like, typically they're the same.
But I will agree with you that it is a preference thing because I could care less about like the purity of listening to it in
I
Japanese.
swear I needed that.
I just like how it sounds better. For me, it's not like I have to watch it in Japanese because that's how it was created. Like, no, that's not why,
It's like
For
I'm
me-
watching Evangelion for the first time right now, and
dude.
Netflix does not own the audio, but they own the subtitles. But they don't own the Japanese audio or the English audio, so both of them are different. They only own the subtitles. They've redubbed it. So I just have the subtitles on,
Oh,
even though it's in English, but I'm not paying attention to what the fuck they're saying at all.
does that ever happen where like the subtitles are different than what they're saying? in
Yes,
English?
it's the
So-
entire show.
You asked Chris earlier, like, did it make your enjoyment less when you watched it in sub?
Yeah.
For me, when I watch it in dub, it does make my enjoyment less. And one time, the first time I watched the Cowboy Bebop movie, I was at my friend's house and he watches everything in dub, but he left the subtitles on and it was different and it was driving me nuts the whole time.
That's fair. That's different though.
It is a little different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
If I cannot read something,
Mhm.
I will watch it. I'll have it on in English, but
Well,
it is not my preference.
I love that was your answer. That
Yeah.
was,
That is good.
That is
Spanish
such a
Spanish
Michael-
is really good. Portuguese is the best. If you can find a Portuguese dub, I would recommend it. The Naruto Sasuke fight in Portuguese is the most lit
Bro.
fucking thing.
There, have you seen the meme or in the meme? It's this video where it's like Sasuke introducing himself in other languages. In French, he's like Sasuke Uchiwa or something like that. It's really
so
goofy.
funny.
You know, I will say though, I'm glad no one at the table had this opinion because when people say this, it makes me want to slap them.
All right.
When they're like,
I can't wait to change my opinion.
they're like,
Continue.
you should,
Mitch, you should have this opinion so that you can get
All
slapped,
right.
bro.
when people are like, it has to be in Japanese because that's the way it's intended, and like you can't stray from it because that's exactly the way it was intended. Well, guess what? Go learn Japanese. Shut the fuck up. Buy the books in Japanese. Learn Japanese. Only read it that way, you motherfucker.
King
Have you
James
seen the
Bible
video
enough.
of the dude who has his phone out and he's Google translating the
Yes.
mangas? And he's like,
Listen,
this is their original format. so I need to translate out.
unless that dude says that, shut the fuck up. Because
Even
guess
then
what? If you get the manga, Vizio translated it, and they still fucked it up.
Dude, even if you do it with Google Translate is so wrong.
It's so bad. Like
So-
I build Gundams, and all of the Gundam instructions are in Japanese. So like, if there's something that I'm pretty confused about, I'll be like, oh, let me go through this paragraph of text that's telling me how to put the arm on, and I'll take out the translator. It's like, put arm in, left sock, puppet, and I'm like,
yeah.
what? Okay, I'm just gonna put it in. Like, it's fine.
That's what she said.
Hey, give me 2 on that. Oh wait,
But yeah, I don't know. I can't stand that opinion because it's like it's so beyond elitist. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
watch it in
It's just,
Portuguese.
it's just pretentious. It's not that like I don't know.
Those two words are synonymous.
Yeah, I think they're a little. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, sure, it's the same.
I
thing.
feel that. I'm definitely snobby about dub, just not to you because you're like my boss. So
fuck you, Christian.
I remember I used to message Josh
Yeah.
and she'd be like, I don't want to have too strong of an opinion around Chris because like
Yeah.
I gotta feel it out a little bit.
I bonded so heavy with JP when we went to SatFam because JP was like dubs only, and I was like hell yeah, and Mike was like fuck both of you.
Just validated JP in
I
front of
did.
everyone.
We're the
I'm
same at
telling
the
y'all.
shop.
You guys want to move on to
Portuguese.
the
Yeah.
next one though?
So the next bigger topic we have is what won't you tattoo / what's your least favorite style as an artist, and then what's your favorite style that's not anime. That was a lot. Let's start with what won't you tattoo.
So here's the thing. First off, with that, the biggest thing is mostly placement, right?
Okay.
So I will not tattoo anybody's face.
Lame.
That's just the thing I won't do. I'll tattoo your head. I'll tattoo your neck. That's like whatever.
Would you tattoo someone's face?
You got money? I don't know. I would probably get a tattoo on my face, but I don't know if I would tattoo someone
Would you
else's
really?
face. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think they're aesthetically pleasing.
Okay. I would have thought that.
I've thought about it.
Okay. I'll get my sideburn. Like
Yeah,
this.
those are cool.
but I won't get like my face. Like this to me is like the face. Do you know what I mean? But the easy things are, I used to say, like anything that is like disparaging to anybody's religion, because I'm not religious, but like I'm not trying to be like, here's a burning cross. You know what I mean? Like that's it just feels fucked to me.
Yeah.
So nothing like that. I won't do anything that's like sexist, racist, anything that's like discriminatory. But also at this point, I won't tattoo anything I just don't want to. It's like I won't tattoo traditional black and gray. But most of the things I used to just like borderline say I won't do are like things that are offensive or your face. I also wouldn't tattoo like significant others' names on them anymore because don't want too many cover-ups of that.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah,
That's $100 today and $100 6 months from now when that thing ends.
no, that's
The
$100
cover-up's going to be more
first,
than
and then
$100.
like
Yeah.
$1,500 later.
Next time,
Yeah.
So, what about you, Mitch?
Yeah, what would you not?
Are we just starting with the first topic first?
Yeah,
and then
what
going
what
around?
you won't tattoo?
Okay. I just didn't know if we were doing all of it at once. I won't do face either. I don't know. Most of the time, honestly, it's because the people that ask for face tattoos are usually like young as hell. It's usually someone's like 19. Like,
They
yo,
don't have any other tattoos.
Let me get this thing here, and I'm
Let
like,
me get this. It's either script above or below. the
yeah,
eye.
and I'm like, dude, like maybe that's fine. Like I always tell people, tattoos nowadays, everyone always acts like it's a problem, but honestly, people don't give a shit unless you work some corporate job. The only things that really are gonna affect your life are face, neck, hands, probably.
Your
Yeah.
hands?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, I mean
Josh
really
is like,
though.
what?
It's
I'm
like
just kidding.
face, neck, hands are the only ones that would really maybe
Yeah.
affect anything.
For sure.
And like when you're like 19 or something, like I had a 19-year-old ask me to do a hand tattoo, and he's like, I was like, you have any other tattoos? He's like, nah, dog, it's the first one, and I was like, nah. And
Yeah,
then, like,
I agree with that too. I won't do anyone's neck, head, hands. Yeah, those. I won't do those unless someone has a lot of tattoos.
yeah, and it's not my place to like. I'm not trying to say that if you're like 19 or 20 listening to this and you have like a face or hand tattoo that I think you're like dumb or
fucking
something.
degenerate.
I just like no. I feel
You heard it here first from
I
Tattoo
feel like
Breakfast.
I don't want to. If I think that you are probably making some sort of like serious error or like a bad decision, I just don't really like to be complicit in that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's just kind of where I'm at with it. And there are tons of artists who don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so
I think when
$100
you-
$100.
I think when you have the ability to permanently change someone's physical appearance, you need to morally draw the line somewhere.
Yeah.
yeah.
I've seen artists that have the opposite take, which I don't like. I think it's a little grimy where they're like, hey, it's your decision.
There's
you
a
asked
line.
me to do it, I'll do
Yep,
it.
There's a balance, and there's
Yeah.
people that are just I think a little too weird sometimes, maybe about some things,
Right.
or like I don't know, not like they take tattoos too seriously, but like you know what I mean. You make like a bigger thing out of it than you need
Yeah.
to, and it's like
Yeah.
all right, it's not that serious. Like no one really cares if you get like
Yeah.
an arm tattoo. You know, it's not gonna ruin your life or something. I remember this one guy, just a quick aside, he was getting this tiny little thing on his thigh. It was like his first tattoo. He's like, bro, I'm so worried that my dad's going to cut me out of the will for this. Like, I'm just like worried about it. And I was like, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. And he's like, no, it's cool. Like, we're going to run it. And I was like, here's what we should do. I was like, you should let me make a giant ass stencil of Satan and let me put it on your back. You look like a Kuma from Street Fighter. Let me take a picture of your back, send it to your dad. He'll freak out. You'll come home and you'll have these little mountains on your thigh. It's all about perspective, baby.
Did you actually do that?
Yeah,
I
Did you actually do
offered
it?
to. He didn't do
Oh,
it though.
okay.
I did something similar to that once. I
Okay.
put a stencil on someone's face,
Okay.
and they sent it to their mom.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
And then they came home and they had like a tattoo on their wrist, and they were like, "Yeah, man, it worked." My
It's
mom,
kind of
Yeah.
smart. Also,
my mom was far less.
that mom was freaking out for hours.
But your hand?
No, I'm saying, oh, my mom doesn't know. I'm kind of
Oh,
scared.
dang, bro.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, man.
Josh is living my life right now.
Yeah.
No,
There's
but
nobody
honestly, for placement, those are my issues with placement. And for like content, like Chris said, I don't do like things that are disparaging of religion or even somebody's like lifestyle and stuff. Like there's just a line, and like I am religious, so like I don't really get mad if like there's a lot of people like Josh said, like people have issues with, like the church and stuff, and like not really getting into that, but like, I don't blame people for like some of the issues they have, but I'm also not about to like disrespect like my beliefs on somebody
Yeah.
else just because you want to pay me for it. Like that's weird. So I would draw the line there. I wouldn't be like mad. I'd just be like, hey man, I'm not gonna do that. and I actually don't ever want to do any lewd tattoos.
Yeah.
I do not like that personally. Like, I mean, I think it's cool if you are into that. Like, I've seen tons of really good ones.
Yeah.
I just personally have like no interest in doing that. It also gets into really weird territory with anime characters. I'm not trying to call out any like specific artist or anything. And like, it's just one I saw the other day. It's like sticks out of my mind. Somebody did a really lewd one of Princess Zelda from Link Between Worlds, and she's like, first of all, she looks like a child, but in the tattoo, she's just got like massive, like just a massive chest, you know, and it's like out and everything. And I'm looking at the tattoo, and I'm like, the tattoo is like pretty good, but like,
Why does
it's
this
like,
9-year-old have
yeah,
this
I'm
going on
like,
right now?
like maybe she's an adult, but like canonically, she's pretty much never over the age of 17.
So that's a good thing to bring up because I didn't know we were gonna go that far into it.
Sorry, I didn't like open up a can of worms.
No, that's
there,
fine.
but-
I also won't do underage characters lewd. I don't have a problem doing lewd tattoos. Like that's fine with me. But doing underage characters, like over sexualizing them, gets really weird. Like a long time ago, I did Nezuko, where she like, you know, she has boobs, but I did it like exactly the way that it looks in the show. So like, and that's weird because in the show she's like at that point like 15.
Yeah, but that's also from that's different.
But that's directly from the reference. Like
Yeah.
I would not do like a lewd titty out Nezuko because she's a child. Do you know what I mean? Like that's fucked up to me.
right.
And the whole when people are like, oh, just age the character up. Like unless the character is canonically older and we do the older version, I'm not down with it. Like if you want Asuka from Evangelion,
Gotta have that eye patch, baby.
I can give her titties if she got the eye patch on.
That's
Do you know
also
what I mean?
really
Like
weird,
that's
though.
fine. Like that's like you can think it's weird, but like at that point it's like
yeah.
that's fine. Like I can roll with that, you know?
They also don't draw anime. Like if people talk about the age of anime characters, it's a cartoon character, bro.
Yeah.
They don't look any. Someone's like, this character's 14. It's like the dude's, you know, like
Yeah.
6'3" and buff, and it's like the person's like 29 and like is drawn this same
I'll tell you
way.
why.
Like
I'll tell you the difference in my opinion.
Uh-huh.
It's the intent.
Sure.
Does
But
that
I mean,
make
if the
sense?
intent is to make them sexual and you just say that they're 18, you know,
It's
I mean, their
Oh.
intent with Asuka was we got to make this bitch sexy, and then they were like,
yeah.
and she's 14. Shinji, just go have fun, bud.
I'm honestly not like I don't get like no, I'm not saying it's not a big deal, but like I'm not saying I'm super like tight about it or anything. I'm just saying
Yeah.
like that's part of why I don't like to do that kind of stuff. Like that's a big
weird.
contributor for
Yeah.
me.
What was the thing you said before that? Before the whole lewd character thing?
Wanted to take that.
Religious stuff
Yeah, I was
No.
talking
or
it
like
wasn't.
lifestyle stuff.
That was it. I also won't do anything that has to do with like drinking and drugs and stuff.
Yeah.
So like that was an issue at a shop I worked at before, where like someone like there's like a group of people who came in, they all wanted like pot leaves, and I was like, I ain't doing it, and like that caused a big fucking problem. And it's like, and the owner was religious. I was like, well, a bunch of people walk in and want crosses that are on fire. You do it. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm not doing like I don't care if people smoke weed, but like I'm straight edge. So like
Yeah.
I ain't trying to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't. I have tons of friends who smoke weed. I don't personally. I just think it's cringy, so I wouldn't.
It's
I
so
don't think
cringy,
I would
right?
do, yeah, like
Yeah, like for example, the only way I would tattoo anything that has to do with like smoking, drinking, drugs, like let's say someone wanted a Spike Spiegel tattoo and he has a cigarette in his mouth.
sure.
I'm like,
he has to have the cigarette.
like that is a character trait. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like that is like whatever to me, but like
just like sort of taking it and not like glorifying it or something.
well, like when people are like do this character, like I'll give you an example. Like so like, people do like the vaporwave thing or like the streetwear thing, right? So if someone's like, oh, I want this character and I want them to have like smoking weed or something. Like, you know, people just do that kind of thing.
Naruto, and he has a fucking bong in his hands.
Exactly,
bro, and he's like
and-
a computer,
Oh,
and he has
God.
like 6 monitors open, man.
Yeah, so just like I wouldn't do anything like that. Like I just first off, I don't personally like people are really good at that style, and like
I hate that
I'm
style.
not
Yeah,
touching
it's
it,
fucking cringe.
but I'm not touching it because there are people who are really good at it, and like that's them. So yeah, I won't do like anything to do with like drinking,
Yeah,
anything like that. I'm just not. Don't ask me to do it. I'm gonna tell you no.
I feel that. Going back to the lewd/nude thing, I think that I probably will lean towards Mitch. I don't think I really want to do that. One thing this may be really lame of me, but I just feel weird about it if it's in like a forearm or a lower leg and like it's somewhere in the. I don't know why, but just the thought of like kids seeing it.
No, I agree.
It's
No, I
kind of
agree
like
with
the
that,
face
yeah.
tattoo thing I was saying before. It's like you
Yeah.
contribute to somebody's like poor decision making or
Yeah.
something. Like
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
do it. For example, I'm supposed to do a lewd version of Lust
Right.
from Full Metal
Yeah.
on Ashley.
Yeah.
And we both agreed I will do it if it is in a place that her 5-year-old will never see it.
Which is cool.
And that's the compromise. You know, like I'll
Yeah.
do it, but like she can't see it. Like
Yeah.
I am not okay with her seeing that. You
Right.
know?
That's a lot.
Yeah. So I think I'm fine with doing those kinds of things if they're done in a respectful way. Like I did that Rize and like it was supposed to be lewd.
Yeah.
And that was more like
Yeah.
cute-ish, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
That's just like fan service in any anime. Like
But-
that didn't take
yeah.
it to.
you know, if someone's into that kind of stuff, though, I'm also not trying to be like
Not trying to
you
be like,
shouldn't
fuck you.
do it. I just personally think that's a bad idea, and I think it's
Yeah.
kind of it's just a bad look. I think like you don't want to have that kind of stuff. Like so
Yeah.
where someone's gonna see it. Like I wouldn't like. I don't think someone's like a dick or something in a forearm. Like you would think that's
Yeah.
weird, but
Yeah.
like doing like someone's chest is like one step back from that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah, for
it's not. I just think it's a bad move. That's all.
I agree. I don't. Yeah. I know Michael and I haven't even begun.
How do you feel
tattooing
about
yet,
it?
So
I mean, with the path that I have chosen currently, American traditional got a lot of boobies and some
It does.
tattoos.
yeah.
I'm fine with it, but like I think they're just kind of. This is not shots fired at anybody. I think it's kind of trashy.
okay.
That's fair.
Okay, so someone comes in.
Yeah.
They say, I want Princess Peach as a pinup traditional style, topless. Where are you at? On the forearm.
On the forearm, I'm covering up those titties with something, dude.
What if they're like tits,
Mandatory.
Mandatory?
tits or bust?
I don't think I'm doing that.
The
I just,
the
I don't know.
one
It's
thing-
not my thing. Like, I would get a lewd tattoo on me. Like, I think I've talked to Wade like several times about like
Oh, he's gonna do it on
some
me.
crazy shit. But like,
He's gonna do a lewd dart magician girl on me.
I'm just like,
Same.
man, I don't know.
The one thing I'll say for American traditional, and this is kind of contradictory, but it feels a little more classy. They're typically it's not like the focus of the.
Yeah, it's
tattoo.
usually
also
not
way
the
less
focus.
detailed. and
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like-
way. It's like two
yeah.
lines in an American, like a luau girl that's topless is like super.
I was actually gonna say the same thing. I was thinking
That's what I
of it.
think
I
of
don't
when I
know.
think of.
I'm
that.
on the fence. Sometimes
fair.
I think they're just kind of like, but then I would see like people like Josh or Eric and even the guys at Sweet and Sour doing. I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
Okay, so
I
it's-
also want to say that like when you think about the anime tattoos, there's a lot more like
juice.
There's a lot more
juice.
sauce.
yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
kind of different.
There's a
from
lot
that.
of sauce
Yeah.
in there.
Okay, so you're saying it's situational for you.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's
I
fair.
don't know if I'm just gonna like break it out. You know
Well,
what
here's
I
the
mean?
thing. So, like, what I'm saying is, for me, also, it is situational.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm just not interested in it. I wouldn't do one.
That's
I
fair.
don't think I would.
I'll hit 3 lines, a whip, and a dot. I mean, like
Yeah, exactly.
that's all it is when you really think about it.
Okay.
Is there anything that hasn't come up that you wouldn't tattoo, like that you can think of now? Of course, it could change, but
Oh no, dude! Bring me your burning churches. Give me your
Would you do one? Would you do something like that?
yeah. Traditional flash. I mean, there's a billion of them.
there are.
That's fair. I will say,
I'm not
that's
gonna do anything like
Let me-
racist.
let me
Like,
tell you an
there's always
interesting-
that flash page of like the Nazi
Yeah.
shit. No,
No,
we're
no,
not
no.
fucking doing that.
Let me tell you
bullshit.
this. This is an interesting thing because this actually came into the shop once. Not our shop, an older shop. There's a guy who worked there, and he was the guy who did American traditional. Right? He was religious. He was like, he had the stance of like nothing that's like demoralizing for like religion or whatever. There's a guy who came in who's a pastor. His church caught on fire,
Dang.
Oh shit!
and he wanted to get a burning church with the date under it of the day his church burned down.
That is strange.
That's a
That's
very,
very
Would you
weird.
do it?
hey, dude. But
No,
coming
That's
back from the
weird.
ashes,
You wouldn't do it?
no. I would tell him like that's a bad look, dude. I would
It's
be
a
like, I understand what that
significant
means to
date.
you, but that's a really bad
Yeah.
idea. I would
I
tell
would
him
not
that. And
do
if he's
that.
like, nah,
Okay.
man, it's fine. I'd be like, all right, I feel you, but
In my opinion on it, with anything, I like burning churches or burning Bibles. Like I've seen those tattoos,
Yeah.
and I don't know, man. It just feels very like I'm an edge lord.
Yeah.
You
No.
know what?
So here's the thing. In that situation, I also wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I think this is funny because like I hear people all the time. Like we talk about art. Like maybe a couple of episodes ago, if someone's listening, we were talking about like how art is like subjective or whatever.
Yeah.
To me, I think I said like I think good art communicates an idea or an emotion like successfully
Sure.
to its audience is like really like the best form of art to me. So you can say that a burning church means whatever. You can say that it means that to you. That is not what it communicates to other people.
Yeah.
Like
For the record, Mitch did tattoo an inverted cross with a horse for once.
that's fair. Yeah, but
on me. So
There's also
that's kind of
the
a
inverted
dick,
cross was kind of.
it's a Christian.
That's a
symbol,
whole thing
but
I could get into.
Yeah.
That would take
Yeah,
a
that's
long
different.
time. But yeah, that's kind of.
Let's talk
That
about
was
it.
different for
Yeah.
sure.
God Country Horse.
So let's move into what style. Well, this is the two-parter. So, what style of tattoos do you like the least, and what style outside of anime do you like the most?
The style I like the least.
That was good.
That's
crazy.
really
Beautiful.
good. I thought you were gonna be like bop, bop, bop,
The
bop.
sustain on that was crazy.
He's like
'Cause you don't
he's
wanna-
a church guitar player. He just put the
You,
echo
I mean, you
on.
don't have you're not offending anybody. If you
You're not
maybe-
saying you hate
You're just
it,
saying,
by the
hey,
way.
I
You're
just don't
saying,
like this style.
Yeah.
You're not saying, man, fuck
And
this
honestly,
list of people who do it.
Yeah.
people hate anime tattoos all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
not,
hear a bunch
it's
of that.
not like we're really unfamiliar with
Yeah.
that.
I know. So my go-to answer is normally American traditional.
Yeah.
I'm not generally a big fan of it.
Mhm.
But
If it's Chrome, I'm just kidding.
Rome. Hey, shout out to Chase who sent me 5 flash pages that this guy did of just Chrome trad.
That's
He was
so
like,
sick.
yo, he's like, hit my boy up.
Beautiful.
I really hate like a 90s Flash. Like there's nothing more
that like
the
like,
Cherry
the
Creek
Cherry
Flash?
Flash.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it. Like there's not like I can look at like a lot of traditional tattoos, like ones that like Josh Bovender does, and I'm like, these are really good. And, like I've gotten tattooed by Josh. You know what I mean? Nothing to me like 90s tattoos. And like I understand that we're talking about a style, but like the 90s was a style.
Yeah.
It really was.
Oh yeah.
Tribal armbands,
Bro,
fairies, Tweety birds.
Fireflies.
I think 90s tattoos, like that era, are the most butt ugly trash I've ever seen in my life. They're they're garbage. Everything, like literally, like it's a fairy sitting on a log smoking a hookah, and I'm like,
that is so
That's
bad.
that's
like, and her wings are made of tribal. Like everything about it is dog shit.
That's fair.
No, that's sick.
John's
So
like, take
it's
that back
that,
right
and then
now.
what's the other? What's the second part?
What's your favorite type
besides it?
outside of anime?
Outside of it to do?
No,
No,
I
just
think
in
that you
general.
enjoy.
just in general.
Like aesthetically, I
Like,
think.
Yeah.
Neo traditional still probably.
Fox, dude.
I love Neo
I love
Trad.
because it's
That's
pretty
cool.
it's pretty broad.
Yeah.
You know, because like Neo Trad can be anywhere from like Matt Curzon to like oh god, the one I sent you. What's that dude's name? It's like Volz, VOLZ, but where all their shit glows.
Oh, that shit's insane.
It's
We were
sick.
looking at that the other day in the coffee shop.
Yeah, and it's like it's also Neo Trad, but like it's like high detail Neo Trad
Hmm.
versus like Matt Curzon, who's like, I'm gonna make the flattest bear that's like the most saturated thing you've ever seen, and it's all fucking crazy.
There's 70,000 lines in it.
Yeah, that shit is sick. Like he'll do like a skeleton, and it's just like someone's entire back.
Yeah.
and it's simple, but it's like bold. It's so good. So yeah, those are probably my 2 answers.
Good ones. I guess am I going next?
Dude,
Yeah,
hit it,
okay,
hit it,
cool.
Mitch.
So like, I don't want to just give a qualifier for like everything that I say, but like, I think that every single style. No, I think every single style though has like so many really good tattooers in
Sure.
it. I personally love American traditional. Like, it's funny you said that, but like, I think if I was gonna pick my least favorite, it's probably New School. I
didn't
see
think
a
about that.
lot of New School tattoos.
Old New
that I
School or
don't-
new school?
I was gonna say I don't see a ton of New School anymore.
Probably Old New
It's
School.
kind of dying out.
honestly.
Old New School, I'll agree with New School. I feel very differently about.
Yeah, it's just it's like really 50-50 for me. Like, and even when they're really good, the characters are super deformed and
Yeah.
like You know, like that's just an aesthetic thing. Like some people love that. I'm just kind of like, like I would rather it not look like that, you know, where it's like just crazy or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of like, that's probably like my least favorite style. My favorite style outside of anime, honestly, is probably Japanese tattoos, like traditional Japanese. I think some of it just looks so good. It looks so cool. It usually flows with the body. I was kind of laughing because you're talking about 90s tattoos. I was thinking about tribal. Like, I love, like, the black work stuff that people do nowadays, and I think about how bad, like, those don't flow at all. It's like you have the opportunity to do it, and they just stamp it on people. But, like, Japanese tattoos just flow really well, and like there's usually a lot of like really cool color. When it's not in color, it's still like everything's just broken up. It's very clean. It just looks really good. I think when someone's good at it, it looks really good. And I like the imagery and stuff. That said, I don't really have any interest in doing them because like we always used to joke like the guys that do it, they're like white dudes. It's always some guy named like Jeff
with a ponytail.
He's like no like barefoot on a rug with like Tabori or something. Like it's like I just don't want to be that guy.
He's listened to the Grateful Dead.
Yeah, it's like I have no cultural connection to it at all. So like I try to probably avoid it like that, you know.
I will say one thing you said was you have like like you have no interest in doing it. So like I'm always inherently a little biased where it's like, oh, style I like outside of anime. The reason I say neo-traditional is because, like, if I was, you know, like, forced to do something that wasn't anime, it would be neo-traditional.
Your neo-trad popped off, dude.
Thank you.
Oh, man.
But if I completely remove, like, my personal bias of, like, what I was into tattooing, if I decide to go off of pure aesthetic to, like, a style that I like, I love black work.
Yeah, I know you do.
I love it so much. Like, honestly, all of the tattoos, I guess aside from the one that Wade's going to do on me, like, and that's black and gray. But like all the tattoos that like I currently have planned to get in the future are all black work tattoos, you know?
Yeah, black work is really good. I think.
I got my throat done and like I love it. It's so cool.
I do want to put like a little tagline in the end of what I just said because you were talking about like things that like I don't have any interest in doing it. I do have somebody that asked me to do like a traditional Japanese like arcanine, like stuff like that.
That's so cool.
I'm very interested in doing that. I just don't have any interest in doing like an actual traditional Japanese tattoo. Like this, there's a big difference between those two things. So yeah, something inspired by that.
Yeah,
and black work too, man. Black work is really sick. That's probably like right up there with Japanese for me.
Yeah. What about y'all? Clearly you haven't tattooed yet, but but still preference.
Yeah.
Least favorite is the vaporwave thing that's happening.
From anime?
Yeah, I fucking hate
What
it.
about stuff that's not anime?
Not anime?
Because that's kind of like
photorealism.
Photorealism?
Yep, I hate that shit.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
I don't love anybody enough to get a portrait.
That's fair. I don't like portraits, but like...
What about like animals and stuff?
Yeah.
I think it's kind of cringy.
Have you ever seen DDK?
Sorry.
Dude, man.
I know.
I think
Josh is a whole leg of photorealistic.
I don't know.
I have a whole arm of realism.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't know, like sitting there and it's like it's always like some white guy with a fucking tiger on his leg,
Named Dave.
No, it's
or
on
like
his
or a
chest.
That's tight,
lion on
dude.
his fucking like. Nah, dude, like I'm not into it.
I feel you. I understand. I do. Like I have friends who do realism, and I think it's cool. Like I have a whole sleeve of like pseudo realism, but honestly, I kind of feel the same way.
Thank you. Right. Okay.
Though the older I've gotten, because like I guess it's like you once the wow factor wears off. I was thinking about this recently. It's kind of like CG in movies, right? Once the wow factor kind of wears off, where like you've seen it, you know, like remember like when you were a kid, and you saw CG and your mind was blown, right?
I'm watching Beast Wars and like Saturday morning.
Was that right? That like you saw like you know like
PlayStation
Spy
3
Kids
graphics.
3D.
no more like you saw like you know the Star Wars prequels and you were like captivated. You're like this is so fucking crazy
Fucking
looking,
space.
Yeah.
you know. And then now you know you watch like Godzilla versus King Kong and you're like, yup.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know
you're
what you
kind
mean.
of
Yeah.
it's just like okay, now I'm actually just gonna look at it for the story now and like it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that with realism tattoos to me, right? Once the wow factor, like once like the pool of people who have done realism super well has like grown and I see it all the time, I'm like less impressed by it.
Yeah, because you're like,
And I'm more like, man, that doesn't flow with the body. Man, that's kind of backwards. Man, you really picked that reference? That's not going to age well. Like, that's kind of like where my brain goes.
I definitely feel that on the aging well.
There's a lot of things about it that I don't like. Just like it doesn't flow. Like it's just like you pick that picture of your
It's
grandma.
very static.
When people get on like their hands and stuff,
Bad idea.
that really fucks with me.
Horrible.
I hate that. Oh God.
Well, that's why on my arm, like, I got a lot of like pseudo realism, and on my hand, it's the cover of a graphic novel
Yeah.
because I wasn't putting realism on my hand.
Don't put somebody's fucking face on your hand, bro.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Best style, American traditional. Or I even like the Korean traditional stuff that's happening right now.
Oh yeah.
That is some crazy shit. I love it.
Okay.
The Korean movement of traditional right now.
Yeah. So what you just said is going to make my answer more complicated because I would say my least favorite is American traditional. I've talked to Chris about that before because I also definitely don't like it. It's not my favorite. I think a lot of it, it's just artistically not what I enjoy. Like it's just not that cool in my opinion. What I will say is like, especially from everything I've learned, like I can appreciate a good traditional tattoo and how it's going to hold up over time compared to other styles. Like I can definitely appreciate that. I really like the Korean traditional tattoos. Something about that little change that they've done with the style, I really enjoy that. As far as like my favorite style, I don't even know what to call it. It's kind of like I showed Mitch and he said it was like illustrative, but like, you know, those back pieces I was showing you, it's like just a bunch of line work.
Oh yeah. It
Almost
looks
looks
like
like
those
wood etchings. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
where they have a
Yeah.
lot of hatching and stuff.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's pretty much illustrative. That's a big blanket term, honestly.
yeah, I
but
know. Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
the
it's not
closest.
trad. Oh, it's not that.
yeah.
There's probably an actual name for that I'm just not
Yeah, yeah.
familiar with.
I've heard it called woodcut style.
Yeah, that. So that sounds right. I really like that stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And you can integrate that into what
I would
you're
love
trying
to.
do.
Yeah, that's honestly what I would like to do.
That'd be sick.
Yeah,
Better get
actually.
your lines right.
That's what I was gonna say,
bro.
Because I told my friend wants a whole back piece of that. He's like, once you're confident in your line work, it won't be that hard.
Yeah, dude.
But-
Try to pull lines in the fucking sweet pocket, like
Ooh.
down here,
Yeah,
The sweet pocket.
and then
The
come
sweet pocket.
back and tell me you like.
yeah.
You
You
like
like that
that,
style? Yeah.
There were styles I thought that I liked until I tattooed them, and I'm like, I do not like this.
Really, that's
Yeah.
interesting. I will say about realism to defend my leg.
Here we go.
I agree with Michael. I have never liked portraits. I would never get a portrait of like a real person, like just a family member or a celebrity. I think that's weird. And they usually are not that good, and they don't heal well. Also, going back to my least favorite, this is probably my least favorite thing. There's only a couple people that do this, but like the hyper realistic celebrities with tattoos on their face and like purple eyes.
God.
And
I do hate that.
that is my least favorite tattoo like genre.
They got like graffiti on their
Yeah,
face
it's like
or
black and
whatever.
white.
I prefer that over just a regular portrait way more.
I
At
don't
least
know,
it's
man.
different. I don't know.
I
It's a little
guess,
sauce.
Did
but-
something
I
to it.
can respect it because looking at it on a technical level, oh my
Yeah,
god.
no,
Yeah,
they're
it's insane,
super
yeah.
well done.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying
It's
that.
hard for me
I
to
just
knock
think
it for
it's
that
so
reason.
dumb. Like,
It's kind of
yeah.
like it's like watching a Transformers movie where you're like, I can't believe it. Like they put so much effort into it, but it's still, I hate it.
yeah,
you know?
You're like, at the end of the day, it's still a truck.
John's like,
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. I'm like, God, technically this is astounding, but fuck, I hate looking at it. You know?
dude, Michael Bay.
Yeah. What's
Well,
next?
Yeah, what's next in our
Yeah,
list of
let's
stuff?
go to the next topic. How much time do we have, John? Where are we at on time?
We're probably pretty close.
We're pretty close.
Okay.
What does that mean,
Same.
John?
Full disclosure, I didn't start a timer.
Oh, man.
John,
Okay.
it feels like it's been like an hour.
It's
maybe.
been less than an hour because of when I took these notes. So we'll just wrap it up with this. Thoughts on an age limit of doing and getting tattoos?
Yeah.
Okay, so first part. Doing tattoos. So let's say, okay. I was 18 when I started my apprenticeship. I started tattooing when I was 19, right? I probably should have been older. Honestly.
Fair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sound like a dick. I think you should probably be like 21.
Yeah, I feel that.
That's fair.
Like, you
You're permanently marking somebody.
Yeah, you're doing something permanent. Like your brain's not fully developed. I mean, your brain's not fully developed till you're like 27 or some shit.
Yeah.
But I think early on you agree to a lot of things that you definitely have no business agreeing to, and you're doing that to somebody. Like, I think that this sounds so weird, but I feel like if you start an apprenticeship at 18, like you should probably have like a pretty long apprenticeship.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Like you should probably have like a 3-year long apprenticeship, but like with the caveat of you should also have like a part-time job.
Yeah.
You should really like be making some kind of income and doing this to prove to like yourself and to the people who are teaching you that like you're actually going to stick it out, because you can absorb a lot of information in 3 years, but in like a year and a half or so, like a year, like I started tattooing after like 10 months. It's like, you're just kind of like racing to the finish. You know what I mean? You're just trying, like, I'll do whatever the fuck like you want me to do to like get to the point where I'm tattooing, and then you start tattooing, and then you're like, all right, cool. Like I still have so much more to learn. And then, you know, you hit 25 and you're like, I'm just now figuring it out. And you're like, bro, that's so many years of like fucking people up, you know?
Pissed away.
But I would say that with the disclosure of like, that's how I feel about it with tattooing now. Like back then, that's not how it was.
Yeah.
It was just like take people's money and like do whatever the fuck they ask for. So like if someone came in right now, like I'm not taking any more apprentices, but like if someone came in who was 18, I'm like, you're going to have a really long apprenticeship, because
That's fair.
you have to mentally mature to be able to do this job in the way I think is like respectful. And what's the second part to that?
Getting tattoos, what age limit wise?
I probably should have been older too.
Yeah.
I'd
When
say
did you get your first tattoo?
I was 18. Day after.
18.
It was the day after I graduated from high school.
Yep.
Yeah.
All of the first probably 10 tattoos I got, they're all covered up.
I was about to say, you make some stupid decisions when you're that
Yeah, I got my first tattoo at 18, and I definitely like literally it's probably same until I like all the tattoos I got between 18 and 21, I would definitely not have gotten. I just feel like you don't know enough about yourself when you're 18. You haven't experienced anything in the real world to say I want this on
Here
me
goes
forever.
Mitch.
I'm gonna go with like 20.
I have still my opinions.
I would say like maybe 20. Everyone's different,
Yeah.
but if I'm trying to put like a blanket term on stuff
Yeah.
and like kind of like just roughly say it, because clearly, you know, you can be 18 and get tattooed, and like
Yeah, of
I'll
course.
tattoo you or
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, man, I would say probably 20.
But that's the other thing too, though, is like getting tattooed by you. Like if I was 18 and I get tattooed by you, I'd be happy with that tattoo still today. Like that's the other thing, is when you're 18, you're gonna go to like the cheapest person you can find, usually, and get like, you know, whatever you can think of at that time. So I don't know.
But
if you get an incredible tattoo at 18, then cool.
But
You know
that,
what
with
I
that
mean?
being said, I've tattooed some people who were 18 and like they have like 3/4 of a sleeve done by me,
Yeah.
and like it all looks really good.
Yeah.
So like that's cool. But also, as good as the tattoo is, maybe as they age, maybe that's not what they should have gotten.
Fair.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think like maturity has a lot to deal with it. So that's just kind of my thoughts on it.
It's interesting here. This is the last thing I'll say, but it's interesting here because I grew up in Florida, and in Florida you can be 16 with a parent.
That's so stupid.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of whack.
Like
Bro.
there's people all over high schools in Florida with tattoos. It's
You know what's crazy about that too?
Yeah.
Your skin changes so much between 16 and 18. I've seen people who got like tattoos from like out of state, and they would get something like straight down their forearm, and by the time they're 18, that shit's crooked.
Damn.
Yeah, you're not done growing.
True. All right, Mitch, let's hear it.
Hit us.
All
I
right.
can see you just thinking.
I agree with Chris.
If you're a red-blooded American, you should get what the fuck you want the moment you can turn 18, brother. Ooh,
That's definitely not my opinion. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
I actually agree with a lot of what Chris said, but I think that tattooing is really weird because it's an art form too. So I don't really have an issue with people wanting to tattoo when they're 18. But like Chris said, like my hang up, like you were talking about like maturity and stuff. That's such a wide like I've met lots of 18-year-olds that I'm like, you understand the responsibility of what you're doing, and like I would trust you to like understand this is not something you should be like an idiot about.
Sure.
And there are 25-year-olds that I've met that I'm like, you're a dumbass, and I would never trust you with this under any circumstances. So I think it's more of a case by case thing. My thing is like I started tattooing when I started my apprenticeship right after I turned 27. So I was like later than most people when I actually got into it, which I'm grateful for because there's so much stuff that I learned. And I have been through so many different jobs and like so many different fields. I like went to college and like I don't think that everybody needs to do that. That's not like my opinion, but there's so much stuff, like information that I've learned that has been applicable to this. Like not even just tattooing itself, but like the industry and stuff. That, like you can have somebody teach you, but I think that just doing tattooing, that's the only job you ever work, is kind of a bad call because you have no concept of like what the world is actually like really outside of tattooing.
That's true.
So I think that, like Chris said, well, no, I mean, really,
Dude, you worked at Subway.
I know that like that's a small part of your life, but you at least worked one job, and that's what I was gonna say. Like that's kind of my caveat. Like,
no, I agree.
I think that you should do something besides tattooing at least like once.
Yeah, I agree. I have I'll be the first to admit, I have like a super warped perception of certain things.
Yeah.
Because I've done this for so long, and that's just like working at Subway for like 2 months. Like, that's it. You know, it's like I dealt with customer service and like made a couple sandwiches.
Yeah.
Put too many olives though.
I don't have an issue with somebody doing tattoos at 18, but you have to be a very specific kind of person, I think, to really be like ready for it.
Yeah.
So just be like, it just be on a case by case thing, and there's going to be a lot of stuff like Chris said that you would figure out later. Like honestly, you're gonna not retain everything like you're supposed to. I think that you'd kind of do yourself a disservice starting that young, but you can. I don't think it's like wrong. I just think it's not ideal. I think getting tattoos, I think it's fine if you get tattooed when you're 18. Honestly, I think if you're old enough to like do certain things, like you can buy cigarettes, you can join the military, you can buy a gun, like whatever. Like I mean, so you can get married when you're 18. Like why can't you get a tattoo?
Yeah, I agree with that, but I would also. This is just a side note. I personally think people should have to be older to do.
I don't think you should get married when you're 18. But people do it, you know, and I think you should be able to.
I think people should be like at least 20 to like buy cigarettes, alcohol, join the military, and get married.
I don't think you should restrict people from doing it. I think that it's using your judgment.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's I don't think there's a big difference between somebody who's 18 and somebody who's 20. There's very little difference.
I think
there's a big difference between 23 and 18. But I think it takes you till your mid 20s till you actually grow up. There's like my early 20s, I was still just as stupid.
But I guess it's like you should like get out of high school, do some shit for like 2 years, and then make a decision about.
Sure, but I don't think it's wrong for you to be, if you know you want to be a tattoo artist and you want to do an apprenticeship. I think doing a long one, like you said, is like, I think it's like perfect. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it's wrong to start it. I just think that you should be aware of what things are like outside of it.
Yeah.
And like getting tattooed, I was gonna say Chris did my first tattoo when I was 18, and he blacked it out like a couple months ago.
Black mine out too.
I don't regret getting that at all. My tastes have changed dramatically. Chris is way better now than he was when he did the tattoo, and like just because, like you're totally right. Every single person I know that has gotten a tattoo when they're 18 either doesn't like it, they've covered it up, or they've gotten better tattoos since. And I don't think that's like just because that's the experience that most people have. I don't necessarily think that that's bad. Like I'm not like, damn, I wish I didn't get that tattoo from Chris. It's just like, it was just what I had when I was younger. Yeah. And like, I'm glad I got it blacked out or whatever. Like, not because I thought it was like garbage or something. It just was kind of like, I wanted something different, you know?
Yeah. The one thing I was thinking about that I guess is different than when I got tattooed when I was 18 is like, you pointed this out earlier on, but it's so different now as far as like, jobs. If you get a forearm tattoo now, you're not going to not get hired for a job. When I was 18 and I got a tattoo, I got fired on my forearm.
Wow.
Yep.
So that's why I'm like, you know, someone now that's 18, as long as they don't do their hands or their face, they can probably still work anywhere. Like even Publix. Like when I was 18 at Publix, you couldn't have facial hair, you couldn't have tattoos. Now you go to Publix and it's like,
you know, I tried to apply to be a server at Red Lobster.
Yeah.
When I was 18, and I was turned away because my plugs at the time, they said they had to be smaller than a dime, which they were.
Yeah.
And that you couldn't have visible tattoos, and like you had to wear a full sleeve dress shirt.
You had to wear a long sleeve shirt.
And they told me I didn't get it because my ears were too big and I had a tattoo on my forearm.
Doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Same thing when I lost my job. It's like I worked at a Jimmy John's. Other people, including Devin, who worked with me, had tattoos. and they wore like sleeves, you know what I mean? Like the NBA sleeves on your arm.
Hell yeah.
So I got a tattoo and came in with one of those sleeves on, and they're like, "What's that?" And I was like, "I got a tattoo." They're like, "You can't have a tattoo." I was like, "They got tattoos." They're like, "Yeah, but they already had them when we hired them." I was like, "What?" I probably had a lawsuit on my hands, but I was 18 and I didn't
You
know
should
any
have
better.
fucking sued Jimmy.
Yeah,
dude.
I probably definitely
Angel.
for real. That guy sucks.
Honestly, though, like my biggest thing with like working in the tattoo industry is actually kind of with stuff like that, where you're like, yeah, maybe I had like a lawsuit on my hands. The industry, like by and large, will just absolutely like they like prey on these like young kids that are looking to tattoo, and they just use them for cheap labor. And like, I've worked with people where like someone's like, yeah, they were never gonna make it, but free labor, which if that's your opinion, you're a piece of shit in my opinion, but there are people that feel that way all over the place.
Yeah.
So I think it's like when you work other jobs and you have stuff like that happen to you, you start to figure out like, oh, well, that's like legally maybe somebody can't do this to me. Or like, this is how this works. This is how taxes work.
Right.
You know, because like that stuff, if you're not prepared, you just don't know. You know, like maybe you're lucky enough to have your mom or your dad or like an older brother or someone like that is willing to show you how this stuff works. But if you apprentice the wrong spot, you were 18, is going to set you back so far.
Yeah, I was heavily taken advantage of.
Yeah.
During my
Both of
apprenticeship.
I remember going.
Like,
they would send Chris on a food run, and it'd be like 6 people ordering food. They gave Chris $20, and they're like, "Figure it out, bud."
And I had no gas.
Yeah, and you had no gas.
Yeah.
And they were like, figure it out or you're fired.
Yep, or you're fired. And we would sit there and be like, "All right, man." I was like, "I got $20 on my debit card. How much you got, man?"
Oh, yeah.
Chris is like, "I got -40.
Yeah.
Guess
Let's
I'm
see if
putting,
it'll slide again."
guess if I'm putting on my credit card.
And honestly, most of the people that have those kinds of attitudes towards their apprentices usually suck ass at tattooing, if I'm being real with you.
Oh, yeah, they're just
Yeah, I
projecting.
know.
They're
Yeah.
just straight projecting.
Yeah.
You know, and like, and then you'll like leave that shop and surpass them, and then like 5 years later they'll be like, "Damn, bro, you know I taught that dude that tattoo." It's like,
Damn, man.
fuck you, bro.
That's my legacy right there.
Chris, it sounds like you're speaking from experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I am.
I know.
I'm cool with the guy now though.
Yeah.
Like we talked it out and everything. Like years later, like
I was one of the other people that were there, not
you were there for that.
Oh no, I'm talking about the other people you worked with.
Oh,
I was
no,
talking
they can. Fuck
Yeah,
off,
that's what I
bro.
was talking about. I was like, nah, not him.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
other ones.
No, like the guy, the main guy at Princeton, like we ended up like hashing it out. I think you were with me, right? Because I was at the gym, and I thought this dude was about to come fucking deck me, like straight up. You can ask Mitch. Like, we were like, oh, he's about to hit me, like, because I like left or whatever.
Yeah.
And no, we talked and like.
He still like shook his hand. And
He
stuff.
like apologized.
I have so much respect for that.
We apologized. Like he apologized to me because he was like, "Hey, I understand now. It's like a misunderstanding." And I was like, "Oh, cool. So like we can be chill." And like now we're
Nice.
cool. Now every time I'm in my hometown, I go and say hi to him
That's awesome.
out of respect.
Yeah, I always stop by.
But those other motherfuckers,
Yeah,
hell no,
that's what I was
bro.
talking about. I was
The
like,
dude who got me fired, or like the guy who like made me like quit my apprenticeship, that guy
Oh,
can
that
suck
fucking
it.
asshole.
You know?
this is the hate they're asking
I
for
wonder-
in the live stream.
I should look him up. I wonder what he's doing. Is he still tatting?
Yeah. And you know what?
Probably.
It looks exactly the same as it did.
No.
It
Yeah.
hasn't changed a day. Damn. Isn't that crazy to see someone just like in fucking stasis, bro? Move to a
Hey.
different state.
12
Got a
years
whole
later.
new family because you cheated on your wife. You got a whole ass brand new set of kids, and you still tattoo like shit.
Brand new set of kids.
It's true.
Oh my god, Michael, do you have any thoughts
Oh,
on
God.
ages with tattooing?
I don't know, man. I made a lot of bad choices from 22 to 26. I didn't get a good tattoo till I was 26. No offense to Chris or the other person who did my tattoos. I'm gonna cover them fuckers
No.
up.
It's okay.
There a lot of offense to the other guy. Fuck him. To me, yeah, it sucked. It was like a year into me tattooing.
God,
For sure.
I remember sitting with the other guy on his couch one day. I was like, "Damn, you really fucked that one up, huh?" He's like, "Man, I don't know what I'm doing." I'm like, "That's fair."
Dude, I didn't get a good tattoo till Sunday.
Whoa! Hey!
I'm just kidding.
Whoa!
No, I didn't get a
No.
good tattoo until I was 25, but I went out of convenience, not out of, I really like
choice.
this. Like, I was like, Chris will fucking do something.
Yeah. No,
It's
I'll
kinda-
say all the tattoos I got in the last like 4 years I've loved. So it's just something, a switch. I finally decided to not keep getting the cheapest tattoos I could find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once
It
you
was
kind of
always who would
accept that
hook
that's
me
part
up.
of it, you're usually
Yeah,
fine.
exactly.
I remember with Chris, for me, how I got mine though is like I just been through like a really bad breakup, and it was like 2:00 in the morning, and we were hanging out at like Russell's house or something. And
We were
he
going
was
for a walk.
Yeah, we were walking, but I just finished hanging out with Russell, and Chris was like, "Hey man, like, you want to get a tattoo?" I was like, "Yeah."
Well,
I had like
there's,
no idea. Like,
there's a little bit more to that. The whole
I
thing
have a
was
picture of it.
Mitch always had this thing about like disappointing his parents.
yeah.
And he was like kind of going on about it. He was just kind of like stressed out because I think you had like changed your major like or something
For the 12th time.
No, I was only 18, so only once.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So like he like changed his major and he was just like stressed. He's like, I don't know what I really want to do. Like I don't want to disappoint my family and stuff like that. And I told him like at the time like, you know, man, like my mom is kind of disappointed with me. I'm tattooing. You know what I mean? I'm kind of a fuck, you know? And I was like, you know, she'll get over it. Like I was like, bro, like you really got two choices. Like you can either live your life forever, like trying to like chase
Please
the
other
dragon
people.
of like fucking impressing your parents and making them happy, or you can make a decision for yourself.
Yep.
It might be the wrong decision, but guess what? It was your decision. It's your life. They're either going to disown you or they're going to fucking roll with it. One of the two things.
Yeah.
And he's like, I was kind of thinking about getting a tattoo. And I was like, cool, man. What's stopping you? Your parents disapproving? What are they going to do? Be sad about it for a day and then get the fuck over it? Yeah, probably. And then he's like, sick. We should do a tattoo. And that's kind of how that came about.
If you guys want to see the picture, go to Russell's guest spot photo on the Instagram. That is the picture of Mitch getting his first tattoo.
Yeah. Which is crazy to think about.
That's
Russell
wild.
has those sunglasses on.
But yeah, that is one thing I've always said to people. And I'll still say it now, like because people are always like, "Bro, my mom's gonna kill me if I get tattooed." And like, your parents got two choices, bro. They can either disown you or they can get the fuck over it.
It's true.
Chances are they're gonna get the fuck over it. If they disown you, fuck them.
Yep.
Yeah, they didn't love you in the first
Yeah.
place.
That's kind of where I'm at with it.
I saw my mom after, and she was like, "I'm so disappointed in you," which she's never said that. My mom's actually super cool.
Did it
but she
hurt?
was like, "I'm so disappointed in you." Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah, dude, it hit me. But no, honestly, I remember being like, yeah, like, I was like, honestly, it was like either you're just gonna like move on, or you're gonna make it real weird at like every Thanksgiving for the next like
Forever.
30, 40 years.
I mean,
Oh,
our family will sit there and like my sister will look at Chris and go, "Chris, you got some dirt on your hands."
Dude.
Oh, she did that to me. The last time I ever went over to Michael's house for like Christmas, like she did that to me. She's like, you got some of my hand-" like I was like handing out presents to people, like being nice. So like her fat ass didn't have to sit up. You know what I mean?
We can say it. My sister's the worst.
Yeah, fuck. I hate her. So I'm like, so she's like, Christopher, hand out the presents. So I'm like handing out presents for her because she refuses to stand the fuck up. You know, got like 200 steps in that day, and like I'm out there. So I'm like doing that, and she's like coming at me and shit, and like she just it hit a point where I turned to her because like she's one of those people like makes everything about money and shit, and it hit this point where I was like, how much fucking money did you make this year? How much? Do you even have a
She
job?
said 0.
And I hit her with how much I made that year, and I was like, yeah, shut the fuck up, Amanda. No one cares about you.
Shout out Michael's sister.
Hey, we don't have the same last name. They're not going to find her.
It sounded like John had a family disappointment story back there.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah. My parents, I don't think this is a secret. My parents were super disappointed when I got tattoos, but it was mostly because I was using their money to do that. So
That's fair.
yeah,
fair.
yeah, it was like a completely.
Hey, you got religious tattoos, man. That's
that
cool.
was
Dude, bless up.
Bro, it's
now,
all about forgiveness, right?
That was my like 19 and stupid. And there's more layers to that story that I don't really want to get into here, but I can tell y'all later. But I am I'm way more tattooed now than I was like a year ago. So Thanksgiving, like last Thanksgiving, my cousins who were like in their early 20s were like, maybe I'll get one. And I'm like looking at my aunts and uncles, and they are like looking at me like, you did this.
Yeah.
This is your fault.
I've had that experience too, where like I'm around people with like teenagers, like family members, and like,
Oh, yeah.
I want to get tattoos, and they're like, God damn.
My family don't know about any of them bitches.
Yeah, I think
I'm a
we've said it
fucking
before.
sleeper, dude.
Don't you want to be cool, kids?
Yeah. I think we've brought this up before, but Michael and I's mutual grandmother says that I sell tickets to hell.
Yep. And if she's already written Christopher out the will, but if I get any, I am also written out of the will. And here I am.
That's why Michael doesn't have any tattoos in his
I don't have
arm.
any,
Yep.
guys. You can just wear a pair of pants,
You're good, bro.
and you're fine.
Oh, let me circle back to something because I said this a few minutes ago. I said that my mom was super, super disappointed in me. She's not now.
Yeah.
No.
She
No,
joins the
my mom
lives.
is super proud, and she actually gets mad at me whenever I don't send her photos of tattoos I do because she likes to tell people that I'm good, and she'll direct people to my Instagram. And she'll be like, he's got a long
Shout out to
waiting
that random woman in Lowe's.
Yeah, my mom literally, like, this person found out who I was or whatever, and my mom gave them my information for their partner to get tattooed by me, and like they like forgot it or whatever, and then like the woman saw my mom again at Lowe's and like was freaking out. She's like, I need to know your son's Instagram, like they need the tattoo or whatever, and it's like, he's so fucking good, you know. And like my mom was like, hell yeah, dude. My mom was like super proud, and my mom like defend me and shit, because like there's still people in my family who are like, is Christopher grown out of the tattoo thing? And my mom would be like, yo, shut up, bro.
Yeah,
he's good.
Our grandma
you
would
know?
be like,
If
If I
phase,
knew he
Mom.
was going to sell those tickets to hell, I never would have bought him art supplies as a child.
and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, damn, grandma, those color pencils in '96 really set him up.
So I have my mom is very religious. Also, I am too. We all. I don't think this is not a secret, but I told my mom that, and she was like, I mean, I don't like tattoos, but that's not right.
Selling tickets to hell, dude.
Yeah.
That's
Just
intense.
ain't right.
John, just give me the wrap up.
Yeah,
and then you
just
go.
Yeah.
ain't right.
Hey,
Yeah.
All right.
fuck the guy from Black Veil Brides.
Yep. Yeah. Chad
Chad
Shadows.
Kroger
Chad,
too.
Chad,
No,
Chad
dude, not
Shadows.
Chad Kroger.
Nah,
I heard
he's
like
already
the
good.
No,
nicest
Chad Kroger's
guy
a
of
real one.
all
Is his
time.
Me
name
and Chris
also
were listening
Chad?
to Nickelback the other day in the kitchen.
We were.
Yeah.
There's a very cute video of Sprunkles that if he sends it to me, I'll put it on the internet.
Yeah.
What about a state?
State.
Illinois.
What about the state I'm currently in? Depressed. I'm just kidding.
I got something positive though.
Okay, let's hear it.
We kind of said at the end, but it's like, you know what, man? Your parents, people around you, they're not gonna believe in you sometimes.
I thought it was positive.
It is.
Okay.
And you know, if you just do something that you're passionate about, they're gonna come around. The people who love you will always come around.
Facts.
Bro, that's some.
Big
That's
fact.
deep.
That's good. I love that.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's also
It's
just
true.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Very true.
One day your mom's mad at you because you got your hands tattooed. Then the next day,
It's okay, buddy.
you tell her. Then the next day she's like, "What are you doing this weekend?" And you say, "I'm getting this side of my head tattooed." And she says, "Do you need me to shave it for you?"
Oh, nice.
Because she came around,
Because
bro.
Miss Susan's a real one.
She's a fucking
Susan.
real one, bro.
That's what's up.
I love you,
So
Aunt
Josh, your mom might be mad, but when you bring in the big dollars, she
That's
gotta
true.
shut the fuck up
Susan. Everybody,
and
who's,
love you.
who's keeping you in the home now,
No,
Mom?
I'm honestly so surprised. Like my mom is also very religious, and she's been completely supportive of like my move here and everything I'm doing, because she just like wants me to be happy at this point in my life.
That's
So-
a good mom.
Yeah, and my mom's name is Suzette, which is super close to Susan.
Look at that.
My mom just keeps asking me to move back home.
She's
Well,
like, "What are you doing down there?"
She's like,
Michael?"
you don't even have a job.
Does she know that you are?
No!
Oh, bro, I love that.
Because Michael's mom is the
go
devil.
I go to like,
Yes.
full disclosure, I go to therapy like every week, and every week she's like, "Have you told your mom yet?" I'm like, "Fuck no."
Oh,
She's like, "We're
man.
gonna have to address this at a later time." I
No,
was like,
that's a
that's a
good call.
later me problem.
Yeah,
That's fine. Yeah.
But yeah, no, a lot of it's just like, you got to tell her. I'm like, nah, I don't.
That's a
I really
later
don't-
me problem.
Me and-
Your
me and
therapist
Chris-
does not know your mom, bro.
Yo, I can patch her in. Yo, Nimbronis, I'll set up a GoFundMe. The session is double, but my mom can teleconference in.
dude, make that GoFundMe.
I will
I will
record it.
donate. Can you record it,
It's my session. I can record it.
dude? Let's play it on the
Michael, I will pay for that.
Yeah, dude. We're gonna have to get a Patreon, and that's
Dog.
how we can unlock
man.
that.
I'm for sure. Yeah, no, we got to get a Patreon at this point. I will straight pay for that.
That'd be so good, dude.
And wait,
That
wait.
would
Can we
be-
do triple and get me in it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like after you tell her and she's crying and you buzz me in, and I'm like, get fucked, Jenny. I did this.
For context, I got my nose pierced like 2 years ago as a 29-year-old man, and my mom cried holding my face for 45 minutes.
Oh my
and she was like, my boy,
My boy.
my boy's face. I gave you this nose, and now you've desecrated it.
Oh god, I'm so excited.
I was prepared. I was prepared to keep up the lie that I had a normal job.
I love y'all. We got to bounce.
Yeah. On that
Hey.
note,
Hey,
Have a great day,
hey,
guys. Drink
pay,
some water.
Pay,
Love
pay
you.
some money, drink some water,
Get some sleep.
get some sleep.
Liz, fight the Lich King.
Liz, fight the
Goodbye.
Lich King.
Bye, Liz.
Man, I'm tired of these fucking podcasts.